What are you YouTube? It's your boy Dooley J. Y'all already know what's popping. I got this bad bitch shoes look like Mary Poppins. It's me and bro. We at the store, nigga. We just shopping. I don't give a fuck about them hoes or nigga. I stay cropping. Get it? I don't give a fuck about them hoes and all that shit, baby. I cropping my pictures type shit. Hey, I'm really look. I'm top 10 when it comes to this freestyle shit. Fuck niggas literally can't catch up with me though. But look. Got another video. And this one is my own, like, I seen this shit scrolling. I was like, I want to watch this shit. This shit is called Who is Truly the Strongest Souls Protagonist. Listen, I fucking, oh shit, I'm shaking like a motherfucker. I love the Souls-like genre, and I love when it comes to power scaling with only that genre. Don't ask me why. I am very biased. I'm very obsessed with it, addicted. It's very bad. But I had this I got this headcanon theory for all my nerds out there that at least the Tarnished could like low key go like I don't want to say toe to toe, but fuck nigga, he could really like he really up there with some real top tier fictional characters. I'm like being so serious. And like if you really know the lore of Elden Ring and know the lore in general of this shit, you would know that I'm not too far fetched, but you might say it's a little bit of a reach. But look, enough of the intro. We're gonna get into this video. You can tell I'm already passionate because I fuck with this one. So sit back, relax, and scratch your ass crack, my nigga. You know how this shit finna go. And other than that, y'all already know the vibes. Come on.
All Souls games have badass main characters who faced godly beings and managed to come out alive.
My character, by the way,
had to face Soldier of Godric.
Real.
Sekiro almost failed his journey
Oh my
at the
life.
ends
If y'all
of
ain't beat
Mist Noel,
Sekiro, bro, I
and
feel
there
bad for
were
y'all.
eldritch gods such as Pinwheel, Coventus Demon.
Hey, I got a question, bro. If anybody out there that played all the Dark Souls, which is your favorite one? I have not played it yet. I played every other like Souls-like game and beat them multiple times, at least more than once. I need to play Dark Souls now. But the DLC of Elden Ring game, Black Myth Wukong, it's a lot of other shit I gotta finish first before I get into Dark Souls. But let me know, folks. This on some nerd stuff, bro. I'm a nerd. I'm sorry.
I believe each protagonist is powerful enough to survive in each other's world. I can see Sekiro bullying Soul of Cinder and linking the fire. I can see Tarnished spamming Bloodhound stab across Yarnam.
Thank
so who
you,
is
bro.
the strongest Soul
Thank you, bro.
protagonist?
Because
well,
we can,
let's
bro.
start from the bottom of the list.
I want to
No,
get
I
the nerd
didn't
out of
put
me
the
right
least
now.
favorite character in the bottom spot to avoid angry Redditors.
Is it Demon Souls? Boy? Fat nose ass. I'm sorry. I'm joking. I troll
In
a
all
lot.
seriousness, I don't think Slayer of Demons is weak in any way. And same
Hold on. Be
goes
right
with
back. My
every
dog. My dog. Alright, I'm back. Had to edit that out. My dog, y'all already know he gonna be barking, but let's get right into it. Don't mind him if he get the barking. I'm probably gonna edit a lot of that
all
out.
incredibly broken and powerful, but some are slightly less powerful than the others. Now, Slayer of Demons is basically the medieval Doom guy. My dude here's Boletaria is covered in a thick fog, and all legendary
This is
warriors
definitely
who
Demon
traveled
Souls, I'm
there
assuming,
are never
right?
seen again. So, Slayer of Demons
This
looks
can't be
at the
Dark Souls.
situation and says, yep, I can deal with that. Slayer of Demons defeats many powerful enemies, such as Dragon God, but his enemies don't really feel as powerful as the enemies other protagonists
don't
faced.
even
Dragon
sugarcoat
God
it.
was
We
a
know.
plain skeleton worshipped as a symbolic god before
Ooh,
it
this
was
game don't look bad,
resurrected as a
though.
demon. Slayer of
That
Demons
dragon to the
basically
top,
does what most other main characters do. They have an unbreakable
this is
will
Demon
that can
Souls.
resist godly creatures. They defeat
So many
champions
people
and
low-key
legendary
show love
warriors
to
of
this
the
shit, 'cause it
previous
started
age,
everything.
and they defeat many powerful demons. However, this is the issue. They don't really have anything special that other characters can't replicate. Despite being immensely powerful, they fall a bit short against all the other characters. So, I won't stick to this one too much. There are many interesting characters waiting higher in the list.
That's right.
I don't think Sekiro is weak by any means, but we need to decide how we measure strongest characters.
So we only put him like second from last.
Landing a single hit on Sekiro without getting parried. He can deflect bullets and attacks made by a divine dragon. But then there is Armored Warrior. Sekiro fails.
If you've played Sekiro and beaten it, I have already, and by the way, it was outside of Bloodborne, the fastest Souls-like game I ever completed with ease. It was super easy. I don't know why people saying it's hard. That's not a flex when I say I beat it, by the way. I'm very serious. If you're watching this video and if you've ever played Sekiro, if you beat it, bro, I hope somebody agrees with me. All you have to do is just spam L1. I'm being very serious, which is the deflect. It took no skill, in my genuine opinion. It's like a pattern, but bro, a pattern, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? But long story short, this Armored Warrior, he couldn't do no damage to him. You literally have to beat this dude, spoiler alert, by kicking him off the bridge. Swear to God, you don't do no damage to him by like slicing him or nothing. So, with armor, Hey, you know what I'm saying?
to even scratch his armor. So, without lore backing it up, gameplay doesn't really tell you how strong or weak a character is.
True.
A random farmer can break Sekiro's posture,
True.
and a random sewer rat can
I
seriously
hate them
hurt
rats
a
in Elden
character
Ring,
who
bro.
has slain a god 5 minutes
I know they in
ago.
Dark
I
Souls,
decided to
but
place Sekiro in the 6th place because this title is more down to earth than all the other titles.
True.
You won't find a god at every corner, you won't shape
more
the future
realistic,
of the
bro.
universe. Sekiro, just like all the other protagonists, can resurrect, but his powers come with one additional little bonus. He can resurrect at his will without needing to return to a shrine. But his
True.
resurrection seems to be slightly more complicated than the other ones. Despite coming back to life, he can't replace his body parts, and that's why he has the prosthetic arms. He is skilled enough to deflect pretty much anything,
Who the
and
fuck
he
can
can
replace
even
their body
redirect
parts?
lightning bolts regardless of their size. He can master different fighting styles and tools in matter of seconds. Probably
True.
the second biggest
Oh my
advantage
lord, hey,
Sekiro
I'm
has
sorry.
over
I
the
love
other
that little
characters
Buddha
is
village.
his
I loved
mortal
running
blade.
through
It
there,
is
killing all
essentially
them
the
bald
same
monks.
thing as
I'm dead
Destined Death
serious.
from Elden Ring. Against Sekiro, all other characters only have one chance.
Didn't
In a
Kai beat
scenario
this
where
game
they
too already?
face
I'm telling y'all, Sekiro
it
is
is
so
inevitable
fast.
that they will lose their immortality as soon
It's
as
short,
they
I mean.
contact with Mortal Blade. Without over-the-top lore,
W game
Sekiro
amazing, loved it,
destroy
but it's
any
too
other
short.
character in the
Way
list
too
as long
short.
as they are not wearing any heavy armor. Sekiro is faster and stronger, and he can never get exhausted. But at the end of the day, Sekiro is just a regular human who is against gods and godslayers, so he falls a bit short on the lore side of the things. But if you were rooting for Sekiro, don't feel bad. The second round,
You know what they didn't say? His Shira form or his Asura. It's Shira, I think. There's a demon form that he has and he obtains like if you take a certain different ending in Sekiro, and that form is basically like in Japanese mythology. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just a dumb black nigga. But from what I've heard, basically it's like he's the equivalent to a legitimate demon. Like legit. So if they were talking about that form, you might be able to rank that nigga higher. I'm not even gonna troll.
takes place underwater,
The
so
nigga
he
doing
is
a water
automatically the
ranking?
strongest. Chosen Undead
Man,
is a
don't do
unique
that. I don't
character in a
count that
way
water
that
shit.
even his title is a lie. He is a chosen
Oh,
champion
shit.
who was destined to escape from the Undead
Which Dark Souls
Asylum
this is? He
and
better
bring the
clarify that.
first
I'm not-
flame
I'm
once
not, you
again.
know.
But this is one of many made-up prophecies made by Lords of Anor Londo in order to trick humanity
I think
and
it's Dark
have them
Souls
work
1.
towards a goal that will only award Gwyn and his family. So, right from the start, Chosen Undead is brainwashed into fighting
Yeah,
for a
Chosen
fake
Undead.
salvation. In Dark Souls 1, it is heavily implied
Dark
that
Souls
Chosen Undead is against a broken world, and he rarely faces legendary figures in their full power. Gwyn is exhausted and driven mad after
Ooh, I've
linking
heard
the
about
first
that.
flame. Artorias is corrupted by
I'm gonna be pausing a lot. Quick question for anybody that actually have watched. They said that that's pretty much what you're going against. Motherfuckers out of their prime. But in the DLC, do you ever go up against any of the bosses in their prime? Because every Dark Souls and every single Souls like at least gets a DLC. But I know Dark Souls they was getting hella DLCs for each little different
darkness,
title.
and his sword arm is broken. Calamite is impaled by a giant's arrow right before he
naming the bosses
encounters
now.
Chosen Undead. Sif is not willing to fight his old friend, and there are many more examples of this situation. But Chosen Undead's journey is not all lies and exaggerated battles. They defeat the father of sorceries, they surpass the greatest sorcerers of Lordran, they learn chaos pyromancies, and they obtain flames burning brighter than the ones even demons of chaos can cast. And their most important achievement is defeating Father of Abyss. He travels back in time and defeats potentially the strongest monster ever set foot in Lordran.
Oh,
While
yeah, that's
gods of
what they
Anor
said.
Londo hide in their castle, Chosen Undead faces Manus in its lair.
Hey,
Without a
why is
doubt,
Manus the
Sword of
strongest one in
Darkness and
lore?
Abyss fails to corrupt or even
Like he's
harm
like
the
top
Chosen
5 I
Undead.
heard when
On
it
top
comes to
of his
villains.
victory, Chosen Undead learns the dark sorceries of Manus, and he brings hexes lost in time back to Lordran. So without him, future generations
He's
could
spoiling, but I
never
ain't
wield
mad.
the sorceries derived from darkness. Chosen Undead faces many powerful enemies and earns a godly status despite the false prophecies that guided him. They are still an incredibly powerful protagonist, and placing them so low in the list doesn't mean they are weak by any means. but sadly, they don't face many enemies in their prime to show true potentials they hold. Bearer of
Yeah,
the
that's what I
Curse is my
heard.
favorite protagonist, but as much as I want to place them higher, I have to settle for the 4th spot.
Bro,
Based on
does
the
this nigga
ending you
got
pick, Bearer
dreads?
of the Curse can even become the 2nd strongest character in the list. The thing that makes them special is simple. They are the
Bearer
only
of the
one
Curse.
with
This Dark
choice.
Souls 2 or
While
something, I
every
think. I
other
don't know.
character is forced or manipulated to reach the end of their journey, this doesn't apply to the Bearer of the Curse. They decide they will try to cure their undead curse, and they sail into an unfamiliar, distant world to explore. Just like all the other characters, they also challenge many powerful entities. The ones that stand out are the Fragments of Menace, but how can Bearer of the Curse be stronger than Chosen
Fragments
Undead
of
if they
Menace?
only beat the small Fragments of Menace? Well, Bearer of the Curse achieves one thing no other protagonist could. When they dive through the gates of hell in order to free Burnt Ivory King from his eternal torture, not only Bearer of the Curse defeats the strongest warrior.
I'm sorry, I've yet to play Dark Souls. I just want to say, Miyazaki, you a fucking go. This looks so goaty. I need to play this shit ASAP, bro. Because I know Elden Ring is heavily inspired by it, of course. But like they took so much like assets and stuff from that. Oh, this about to be goaty when I play.
Of Drangleic, they are also the first and the only living being to travel into the depths of chaos and come out alive. Not even the so-called gods in Dark Souls can resist the old chaos. However, eternal cursed flames fail to harm Bearer of the Curse. In Dark Souls, regardless of the ending you pick in any game, you never break the cycle in the end. Your choice makes no difference. If you refuse to link the first flame in Dark Souls 1, another chosen will rise and they will link the first flame instead. In Dark Souls 2, if you refuse to start the next stage of fire, you will be forced to do so. And when you link it, some spooky skeleton will find you, slay you, and turn your crown into a bracelet. In Dark Souls 3, once again, regardless of your choice, another Age of Fire will start. But there's one unique ending, different from all the others in Scholar of the First Sin. If you pass the last test of Aldia, you are given the option to abandon your throne. At this point, just like Aldia, you escape from the cycle and become an immortal soul immune to undead curse. Together with Aldia, you travel across time and different realities to uncover the truth of your existence. Bearer of the Curse is the only
I'm sorry, this lore got me fucking oozing. This shit is crazy.
protagonist who ascended to a position above the gods of Dark Souls. However, their influence is not visible in Dark Souls 3. It is either because they became something much bigger than 4 lords, or it's because writers decided to hard reset the lore after Dark Souls 2. But the fact still remains, Bearer of the Curse is the only character who ascends to a position above gods. I have to finish this part and leave the country.
Hold on. Because I'm trying to find out, was that Dark Souls 2 that he was just covering or 3? I'm assuming 2.
Before the toxic fanbase readies their fedora and katana. Now, I
Oh,
place Hunter
my
in the
God.
3rd spot, but he might as well be the 2nd strongest protagonist. Comparing different
Hey,
settings is
hold
really
on, bro. Hold on. I'm sorry. Hey, if you a Bloodborne fan and you somehow watching this video by any chance, bro, I played Bloodborne and beat it with ease. Is the Hunter? Oh shit! I took that all the way back. The Hunter low key is the strongest because he's going against, I think, conceptual beings. I don't think he's going against just regular gods, right? Somebody gonna have to break that down to me again. Like he going against like mythos or some shit like that. I forget.
difficult. Anyways, what makes Hunter so special and powerful? Well, Hunter is a fighter who mastered all kinds of weapons and tools. Only Tarnished and Sekiro can match his speed, and just like all the other characters, he is also immortal. Not only is Hunter expert in tracking and slaying beasts, they can also challenge skilled warriors with ease. As Hunter slay their prey, they become progressively more and more powerful through blood and insight. Hunter starts as a human being, but as the journey continues, they evolve into an almost godly status. Just like all the other characters, Hunter also faces many godly
I would
beings,
say
but the
damn near you
concept
are
of
one
fighting gods
after
in
the
their
end.
weak form is also present in Bloodborne. Despite challenging many of the great ones, Hunter meets them in their weaker physical forms. And here's the part that separates Hunter from other characters higher in the list. The
What?
great ones that are present in the game are not necessarily fighters. They are incredibly powerful creatures that can shape reality and even take out their enemies with a glimpse, but as Hunter evolves more and more, great ones are forced to rely on their physical strength as their godly powers become useless against the Hunter. Similar to mythology, each great one has different powers. Hunter is capable of slaying gods, however, the ones present in the game seem to lack proper fighting experience as they never needed to rely on fighting before. I will give some examples from mythology. Think of it this way, you have god-slaying powers, but you are challenged by Persephone or Aphrodite rather than big guns like Zeus or Poseidon. In the end, you defeat a god, but you defeat the weaker gods in their weaker forms. You don't fight against a god who is a master in battlefield. Hunter is still incredibly powerful and just as capable as any other protagonist. I believe they could easily become the Elden Lord, or they could easily link the fire. But the gods that are challenged by Hunter don't seem as intimidating as the ones
they're not intimidating at all. By the way, this shit was, listen, gameplay wise, fucking easiest Souls-like game that I played so far. I'm not joking at all. At first, it was super difficult because of the 30 FPS, my nigga. And I didn't even understand what was going on at that moment. But once you get used to that, bro, I'm so serious. Like, every boss was dumb easy. Love the DLC. That's when the bosses got better and harder. Especially Lady Maria and, of course, I forget the last boss, the ball alien gooey looking motherfucker. I beat him too. I forget his name. But yeah, outside of that, the base game. Oh yeah, and then you go a big. I ain't even gonna spoil too much. Y'all already know, folks. If you played it, you played it. If you haven't,
to most
find
of the
out.
great
You
ones
should.
and their powers.
It's amazing.
But of
it's
course, being immune to gods and hunting them is a great flex, and that's why it is so difficult to decide between the second and the third spot. Ashen One's story is a bit different than all the other characters. Every protagonist starts at their lowest. Sekiro has lost his will to fight, Chosen Undead is rotting in a prison cell, but Ashen One is different. Before their journey starts for the second time, they are already a failure. Ashen One is an insignificant soul who tried to link the first flame but then failed miserably and was reduced to ashes. But their second journey begins when the Lords of Cinder refuse their duty. Without anyone else willing to link the first fire, Ashen One is resurrected as the last resort. Throughout their journey, Ashen One meets many formidable enemies. Some are way past their prime, like High Lord Volnir and Yorm. Some are stopped by Ashen One before they could reach their peak, like Aldrich and Sullivan. But the difference Ashen One makes is the godly enemies they manage to beat. Midir is weakened and corrupted by the dark. Abyss is a corrupting power that can destroy gods, humans, and essentially anything with soul. Yet Midir is powerful enough to consume it, and Ashen One is powerful enough to defeat such a beast. Nameless King is not in his prime during his fight against the Ashen. However, he is still the same god of war who has slain and absorbed countless ancient dragons. The only reason he holds himself back during the fight is because he leaves his God of War identity behind in order to build a peaceful world for dragons, lords, and humans. Another godly creature beaten by Ashen One is Gale, a powerful soldier who has been alive and fighting wars.
They just spoiled the shit out of it. Hold on. I'm sorry, my camera just... Listen. I'm sorry, because I didn't even do that. Listen. I never knew this little old fuck had a crossbow. And I've always seen how the start of the fight goes, how he transformed. I've never once seen this nigga pull out a fucking crossbow. Thank God it's spoiled, because I would have got mad if I had him on one tap and he pulled that shit out.
Long before the first stage of fire started. Not only does Gale have thousands of years of experience, at the end of his journey he also holds the majority of the Dark Soul. For those of you who don't know what Dark Soul is, it is basically an Elden Ring rune on steroids. It is one of the core souls that started life in Dark Souls. Once Ashen One defeats Gale, they collect the soul, which most likely belonged to a god in the beginning. And at the end of Ashen One's journey, they face the Soul of Cinder. It is the embodiment of every champion who has linked the fire in the past. Soul of Cinder doesn't directly hold the soul of everyone that came before him, as the soul grows weaker and leaves the body over time, but it still holds the will and the battle experience of Gavin, previous two Dark Souls protagonists, and every other champion who has linked the fire. Defeating such a boss by itself is already a great achievement, but the fact that Ashen One collects the soul of Cinder's essence and gains access to powers of countless warriors makes them an absurdly powerful character. It is probably no surprise to anyone that Tarnished
telling you, if you know Elden Ring lore, this is the strongest verse they made lore wise. Boy, I can't wait till he break this down.
got the first spot. I will keep it short for all two of you legends who are still watching the video. Tarnished doesn't follow the fighting bosses at their lowest setting as much as the other characters. In Dark Souls, it is heavily implied that almost all the bosses are just shadows of their former selves. I mean, by the time you encounter Gavin, he is a mindless hollow and his boss
The
fight is
same is applied
especially
to Elden
easy
Ring, by
to
the way.
implement
There are
his
some bosses
downfall,
that you
but in
face way out
Elden
of their
Ring, you
prime.
fight most bosses in their prime, or at least close to their prime strength. Sure, there's Radahn, who has lost his limbs and mind after Malenia triggered a tactical nuke right next to him, and Renala's second phase is a simple spell mimicking a fraction of her power, but we need to look at the other major bosses. Godfrey returns from his pilgrimage to defeat Elden Beast. When you push him to his limit, he expels Sarosh to fight in his peak
and he
form.
was actually
now,
in his
the cool
prime.
thing is, even when he was defeated in Badlands, Godfrey didn't remove Sarosh, so it already tells how big of a problem Tarnished is. Another example is Malenia's boss fight. Malenia's duel with Radahn ends in a stalemate, but while Radahn loses his mind, Malenia grows stronger after her recovery. When Tarnished pushes her to her limits, she blooms and becomes even stronger. Malenia is an undefeated warrior, but despite ascending and becoming even stronger during her boss fight, she is still defeated at the hands of Tarnished. Malekith, a fearsome warrior who has defeated godlike Empyreans without any special powers, fails to defeat Tarnished despite wielding god-slaying powers this time. Similarly,
little side note, Malekith should be on a lot of you lists because, let me tell you something, that's America's literally the god of that verse. She created everything, damn near, if you look at it, right? In that verse for that game. You know who she trusted everything to on some if shit go to hell, I need you to protect me. Malekith. Now, it's some other little spin-offs, like she has some kids with their own destinies, and you could probably argue some of that, but it was all Malekith. I'm telling you, bro. Rune of Death got sealed within him, and this is why he could take down damn near anybody that's immortal. Literally, if they're immortal.
To defeat Tarnished despite having the blessing of an outer god. Elden Beast, a vassal of God, just like all the others, falls before Tarnished, and maybe their most impressive fight is against promised consort Radahn. Radahn in his final form is missing his great rune, but he is blessed by Miquella on top of Formless Mother. Unlike other characters, Tarnished fights many bosses close to their prime strength, and oftentimes Tarnished challenges bosses right after they become even stronger than their former self. Tarnished also holds the powers of a great rune of their choice, and they are guided by Queen Marika. They are immortal just like all the other characters, except their immortality doesn't come with any downside. So Tarnished has a clear advantage over all the other Souls characters. Well, this was it.
Hold on, I want to say something though. Because he just said this is it, so we're already at the end of the video, so I'm going to ask a question. Number one, before I ask a question, with the Radahn thing, I'm not low-key surprised that he's missing his great rune. I know he's still blessed. And here's my hot take, by the way. I still have a feeling that this is not Prime Radahn. I know that there was a split argument on Twitter. I've seen it. Some people believe that this is and some don't. I'm on the fence that this is not. And here's why, and I'm very serious. When you see regular Radahn, not no resurrected nigga, and this, by the way, spoiler alert, this is Moog body. This is not Radahn body. This is literally Moog body, and somehow, some way, Miquella was able to put Radahn into him on some goated shit. Let me tell you something. When you first go against Radahn, his regular human, like whatever form, first off, the man is a damn giant. I'm very serious when I say that. And I seen some on YouTube the other day. If you peep, all the giants had red hair. Who else had red hair? Radagon, Radahn, Ronnie before she carved herself and killed herself. This is all for my folks that know about Elden Ring lore. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you probably what the hell I'm yapping about. But listen, when it comes to Radahn, he was a damn giant when we went against him. He still was holding back most of the stars. Let me just say something, bro. In my opinion, I do think this is a next level Radahn, and I do think this is stronger than what we faced. But lore wise, actually wise, I think this is still strong as hell, but it ain't strong. We basically haven't faced the real Prime Radahn. A tall ass Radahn that ain't afflicted by rot, that ain't controlled by Miquella, and that ain't holding the damn stars back. That's what I'm talking about, basically. We have not went against that. We went against Radahn that is supposed to be his glory form, And it is by all means in a way, but I don't think it's the real one. Listen, I love this video so much, by the way. Shout out to Brolo, bro. Please subscribe to this nigga. I'm not even joking. Because I love like this whole Souls like genre. But let me ask y'all a question. If you somehow, some way made it to the end of this video, and if you did, you go to this fuck. Number one, what's your take on this whole list? Do you think that it was valid or not? You know what I'm saying? Or at the end of the day, do you believe that you have some like what's your takes on it? You know what I'm saying? Basically, do you want to switch it around? Because me personally, I don't see anything wrong with the list, but until I play Dark Souls, I got it from the Ashen. Wait, the Ashen one was about. Yeah, the Ashen one was number two. Okay, cool then. Never mind then. Yeah, because they put Bloodborne number three. The only argument I have is that Bloodborne might not be number three. Literally, it might be number four. You go cry to your mommy, whoever a Bloodborne fan. But at the end of the day, oh damn! But I keep forgetting this Mythos. Hey, this is a good ass video. I'm a nerd when it comes to this shit. So enough yapping. I'm about to get the bapping. Shout out to all my dogs, nigga like my captain. I really shot a nigga in his head like a basket. Shot a nigga in his head like a basket. I shot the ball through. Yo, I'm on some demon time and fuck nigga. Hey, listen. Dilly J out without a doubt. Hey, y'all know the vibes.